Welcome, friends, to the Soul Talk podcast, a show where we explore and uncover the path to the heart, amplifying your conscience. Join me as we meet incredible souls who are in this journey and learn from their experience and different methods that will make you vibrate your heart. Let's get into it. Hello, everyone. This is Monica Ramirez, the Warrior of Love, and you're in Soul Talk today. And today we have Karen
Sammer.
She is a certified health coach, and she's going to tell us a little bit more about herself.
Sure. Hi, Monica. Thank you for having me. I'm Karen Sammer, and I'm a National Board Certified Health and Wellness Coach. And I got here because of my own health challenges. So I was in a very stressful job. This is back in 2009. Very stressful job. I was not living well. I was very overweight, had a lot of health problems, and it was including pre-diabetes. And it wasn't until I was diagnosed with an aggressive form of breast cancer that it finally got my attention. And so I decided, after having a terrible treatment, the treatments were very difficult to get through. It took a year for me to go through treatment. And I decided during that time that I didn't want to have to deal with that again. So I decided to take matters into my own hands, and I lost 135 pounds and got healthier than I'd been in my entire adult life. And I was able to really overcome a lot of different things, lots of aches and pains. I was able to overcome my prediabetes and mitigate my risk for recurrence of this aggressive form of breast cancer. And I decided during that time that I really would like to help other people feel as well as I did, well and healthy as I did. So that's what led me down to this, to become a health and wellness coach.
Wow. I totally understand that. I have right now pre-diabetic is one of the things, but I used to have lupus, RA, and fibromyalgia. I heal from the other ones that they were not curable. I heal myself. I haven't had a flare up in 7 years. But it's when we start putting attention to our body. Our body will stop us when we are not putting attention to it. It gives us warning signs, but we choose not to get busy because we are in the survival mode. And the majority of the human beings are in the survival mode. Like, let me just work, and forget about me.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's right. Absolutely. Yeah, it's what you said about your body giving you warning signs. There are warning signs all throughout our lives. It's not until sometimes you get it hit in the side of the head with a brick, with a metaphorical brick, that it finally gets your attention. Like in my case, it was the breast cancer that got my attention. But the people that I work with are people who are dealing with things like prediabetes, something that can be overcome through lifestyle changes and nutrition changes. And this is where I find that so many people struggle, right? Because they're so busy living their lives that they don't really know how to take care of themselves properly. And so it's really about slowing down and managing what you can manage. I mean, certainly there are things in our environment and such that we really can't do anything about. We can't control, but we can control the things that we put in our mouth, the way we treat our body, the way we manage our stress, and all of the things that, the movement that we do. All of these things will contribute to your better health, or it can contribute to your slow death. It really depends on how you do it. And I think it's amazing that you were able to overcome your chronic illnesses that there are no cures for.
Hi everyone, this is Monica Ramirez, the Warrior of Love. And if you have been feeling stuck where you are right now, or if you have felt that you cannot connect with others in the same language or the same emotions that you're feeling, if you're a coach, a healer, energy worker, in any of those branches, maybe this is for you. Because we have felt the disconnection for the rest of our family, friends, that we cannot connect to them. And we're so afraid to actually go deep dive when we're getting triggered by our own clients because we're seeing our mirror image with them. My name is Monica Ramirez, the Warrior of Love, and that's my spiritual name. And I take clients from feeling confused and feeling stuck to feeling free, to feeling that they feel empowered from themselves. I created a system path to the heart that goes in 3 levels. And the first level, it is healing the inner child, healing the parts of us that we've been so afraid, or it's very painful to do it. I have done it myself, not only with me, and I have done it with many, many of my clients, that I take them to this process. The second level, it is to go more into inner self, clearing the family lineage, to breaking the contracts and vows, learning deeper more about the laws of the universe. And the third level, it is learning how to channel, how to do waking up your and getting online your gifts, your unique gifts that the world so much needs right now. So if you wanted to know more about this, I am eager to show you and to teach you all what I know that I use every day in my life. So thank you for being here in this page. I really appreciate it. And this is Monica Ramirez, the Warrior of Love.
Because medical science doesn't know everything. I mean, they're really advanced, but they don't know everything. And I think that we have a lot of control over what happens in our body if we handle it properly.
I believe that we provoke a lot of our sickness to our thoughts and our emotions.
Absolutely.
And we believe that we deserve certain things, or we're carrying anger or things like that. In that time, I wanted to get out. In fact, and that's why I put the bottom of auto-destruction. That is the lupus. It defends you, but attacks you and kills you at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
but that's in a way I wanted to go out, but socially you cannot put a gun in your head. It is
Mm-hmm.
easier to actually auto-destruct you because that is what you
Mm-hmm.
accepted.
Yeah.
Until I came to realize what I was doing to myself, that's when I have to change my way of thinking and feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So like that, I changed my reality, and I haven't had a flare up in 7 years. I don't take medication,
That's great.
and I
That's
believe
great.
all the sickness we provoke it in ourselves.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. We bring on a lot of it ourselves, and it has a lot to do with the way we think about ourselves and about our lives and how we react to things. And if we believe it's going to happen, chances are pretty good it's going to happen. But we also, at the same time, if we believe deep in our soul, if we believe that we can overcome something, I believe that the universe shows us how that happens, how that can work out for us.
Yes, and we have to do the inner work.
Yes.
Many people are so afraid to do the inner work because it's painful and scary.
Yeah, it's a scary place to go. Right. Absolutely.
But the only way out is to go in.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. You have to get into the mud before you can clean yourself up. But you're right.
And like you were mentioning at the beginning, in your work that you had before, you were not actually, you do not, I bet you did not have enough the time to actually do the inner work.
No, I didn't. I was surviving, as
Yes.
you said. I was excuse me, I was in survival mode. I was in a corporate job, which I retired from 5.5 years ago. But I was overworked. Uh, I didn't get enough sleep. I didn't have enough time to do anything that was going to be beneficial to me. It was just really surviving day to day, getting through the things that I had to get through. So once I learned how to prioritize my health and well-being above the job and above, the corporate expectations, then that's when I think that's when everything changed for me.
And I feel more incorporate. It is about a lot of competition,
Most
or else someone is going to take your job. So you have to compete all the time. And that's part of the culture of the human beings. It's always in that competition to stay in that job or do not lose that job or get that position.
Mhm.
And that's when people get lost, and that's when people get sick.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes, I mean, it was a very competitive environment. And you're competing against other people within your own level. Not necessarily somebody wants your job, but the ranking in the department, you had to, in order for you to get the best bonus and the best raise and the best whatever, you had to compete against these people. And I don't think people should be competitive. I think we should be collaborative. I think if we were collaborative, things would go much better. But just the construct of the corporate environment just requires you to be competitive, even if it's not something that feels good, and especially if it's against anything that you feel, that just leads to more health problems, I think, because you're working against who you really are.
But I believe that's part of the human condition at the same time. Mm-hmm. Being competitive and being envy or trying to copy others and not be original and things like that. It is part of the condition of the downside of the human being. That doesn't mean that we can overcome that and let go of that and be just yourself, without trying to be someone else that we're not. And mm-hmm. not going to be comfortable even if we become that, because we're not us. And that's where all the sickness come, right?
I agree. Yeah, not being true to yourself, not being authentic to yourself, I think certainly leads to mental illness as well as physical illness. And I think that when we can live our authentic lives, or just be authentic and true to ourselves and true to what we believe in and true to who we are, then I think our health can certainly improve from that.
For sure, we're not needing to compete with anyone.
Yeah, exactly.
At that moment, because we are just being us.
Exactly. And we're all original. I mean, there's nobody who does what you do the way you do it on this planet. Exactly. So why do we have to compete? Why can't we just be ourselves and be original? I think we would do so much better if that were the case.
Yes, we would have a very different planet. We were in that set of mind.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
How do you work with people?
So I coach. So I'm a health coach. So I usually work one-on-one with them, although I do also run group coaching programs. That would be one-to-many, me being one-to-many. But what I do is I help them to overcome cravings. So oftentimes my clients really want to lose weight, but they struggle because they have these cravings that control them. So they can't control the food that they're eating, rather the food controls them. And what I do is I help them to overcome those cravings so that they're no longer an issue. It's not that you ignore them, because willpower can only go so far and not very far. But it's really about eliminating the cravings so that you can then make the healthy food choices to lose the weight that you need to lose and avoid developing these chronic illnesses that are often weight related, very specifically diabetes. Diabetes very often comes along with being overweight. And as you get older, your body is no longer as resilient as it used to be, because if you've constantly been giving it the food that is not going to serve it, your body can only stand that for so long before it starts to retaliate. And the way it retaliates is by breaking down and becoming ill, becoming sick, and not being able to fight or rebalance itself, because it's just been beaten down so many times. So I teach people how to eat the foods, choose the foods that are going to be beneficial to them, that are going to be satisfying, beneficial, and keep them from having cravings any longer, so that they can lose the weight. They can either reverse chronic illness, or certainly they can mitigate their risk. They can eliminate their risk almost to ever developing it. And I've had clients who were able to reduce cholesterol by 70 points and reduce their diabetes medication, or get their diabetes under control that was out of control on medication, and then ultimately reduce and possibly even eliminate the medication completely, because they've reversed the condition. But it takes understanding what your body needs and listening. So the way I lost 135 pounds, and the way I did that is by listening to what my body needed, and eating intuitively, and just really feeding myself what I needed, crowding out the bad stuff, so that once when I ate the stuff that was going to benefit me, I found out that those cravings would go away. And then I started to use that methodology to help my clients. And I'll tell you, it was transformative for me. And it is transformative for my clients as well. It really is. It is really it's just important to give your body what it is asking for. And if you listen, if you sit, you have to sit quietly a little bit, just kind of understand what is going to nourish you, whether it's physical, whether it's mental, whether it's emotional, any of this stuff. The nourishment is not just the food that you put in your mouth. It's the relationships you have, it's the career that you have, it's your environment, it's your friendships, it's your spiritual life, whatever that may look like. It's all of these things that feed you. And secondarily, the food that you put in your mouth also feeds you. But the rest of the stuff is, your primary source of nourishment. So it's really all of that.
The majority of the people do not ask themselves, how do I feel today?
Right.
Why I feel so unhappy? Why I feel angry? Why I don't want to be here and I'm still here? And that same job. Like, how many people they're working in different jobs that they don't want to do, but they're just in the survival mode.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
probably they can apply to a different job or do a entrepreneurship or whatever it is, but changing the job that they are doing. And that can change completely their health. Or go check with an endocrinologist. Not necessarily can be diabetes. It can be your thyroid that the one is keeping you gaining weight or losing weight.
Yeah. But also, you were saying about people changing jobs. People will stay in the same miserable conditions because it's what they know. It's their comfort. It's their comfort zone. So even though they're miserable, it's the devil they know, right? So it's a little scary to go out and get another job or change careers or whatever. Because I did that. I mean, I was in the same career for 35 years and never loved it. It was never fulfilling and, emotionally fulfilling. It was something that paid my mortgage. And it wasn't until I was able to do what I do now full time that I really became fulfilled. So it took me 52 years to figure out what I wanted to do when I grew up, but I figured it out. And this is it. I mean, what I do now is very fulfilling. I feel like I'm making a difference in the world. I never felt that way when I was in a corporate environment. I was a cog in a wheel in a corporate environment.
Because unfortunately, something stopped you to think.
Mm-hmm. Yes, my responsibilities.
What do you really want? What makes you happy?
Yeah.
If you don't have that stop, probably you will continue going.
Yeah.
In the other job. And that's and we as human beings we can stop and we can ask those questions before it's too late.
Yeah, we can, but it takes courage. It takes courage and whatever, something deep inside of you that is going to make you kind of face what you're talking about and ask the questions, because they're hard questions to answer. Like, what should I be doing with my life? And, why is it that I'm angry? Well, you're angry because you're going to a job that you hate. And you might have, and as a result, you're affecting your personal relationships. So maybe those aren't going so well. And your body hurts because you're not treating it the way it needs to be treated. So that's, that makes you feel lousy. All of these things contribute to a very unfulfilling life. But once you find the direction that you should be going in authentically, it's a whole different experience.
Do you have some tips for our viewers?
Yes, so I can certainly tell people. So we're in the holiday season, right? And it's really, this is the time where everybody just puts food in their mouth without necessarily taking stock of how it's going to affect you. But a couple of things that I like to encourage people to do is, if you're going to parties, holiday parties and that type of thing, eat something before you go so that you don't show up at a party starving and then you're going to eat anything that doesn't run away from you. It's really, be smart about it. Keep yourself hydrated, get plenty of rest. All of these things contribute to your appetite and to your hunger hormones, the balance or imbalance of your hunger hormones. So get plenty of rest, stay fully hydrated, make sure that you're eating something before you go into a social situation that may have foods that are not necessarily going to be helpful for you. And try to maintain or manage your stress. Stress management is really important because that stress is the underlying cause for a lot of different illnesses. And it contributes very heavily to inflammation in your body, which also contributes to a lot of illnesses. So managing your stress and making sure that you stay as level-headed as you can, stay in the moment. Try not to catastrophize the future and then try not to ruminate about the past. You can't do anything about either one of those things. So stay in the present so you're able to just deal with what's in front of you right now, and that will minimize stress. So those are the things that I recommend.
That is so true. That is so true. And one tip that I can add to that list, do not go shopping when you're hungry.
Absolutely. Oh, that is absolutely true. Oh, all kinds of crazy stuff will end up in your shopping cart if that happens.
Yes.
Yeah. That's absolutely true.
Yes, I had that rule on me because it's like, oh, if I'm hungry, I'm gonna buy everything that I should not eat.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna eat.
Yeah. Exactly. Yes. Make sure that you have a nice meal before you go grocery shopping. And don't be tired either. Don't go tired, because if you're tired and stressed and hungry, that is a recipe for disaster.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and go with a list. Make sure you take a list with you.
Yes.
Yep. And then don't deviate from the list.
Yes, you're gonna save money. And honestly, right now with the technology that we have, I noticed that when I order online from my phone, what I need, I buy less stuff that I don't need.
Yep.
And like that, I can order when I already ate, and they bring it to my house. So I save time, money, and more money because I do not buy stuff that I don't need.
Right. Exactly. The way they have the shelves set up is very visually appealing for that reason, so that you'll buy things as you're walking down the aisle. The end cap, they have the end cap there so that you'll pick out those colorful, whatever it is that they're advertising. If you don't see that stuff in front of you because you're ordering online, you're going to save yourself a lot of money and a lot of calories.
And your mind is everywhere. You're going to end with 3 mustards and 5 mayonnaise or something like that. So you're like me, order online, save time and money, and like that you're not buying to fill that space that you're not feeling happy. And that's the emotional part. And that's the majority. We as human beings, we are gonna have emotions. And when we're buying, we buy 5 emotions or to heal an emotion.
It never does. It doesn't heal the emotion. It doesn't fill the void. It does. That people do that, but it is not a substitute for whatever it is that caused that void in the first place. And on top of it, it'll make you feel physically and emotionally much worse.
Yes.
Because you're gonna be angry with yourself for doing it. You're gonna feel physically badly because of the effect that it has on your body. All of those things are the food never does. It's not the answer.
That is
the food is not the answer. Yeah.
Do you have a program that you're going to start soon or something like that?
I do. So I have, depending on when this is released, I don't know when you're going to be dropping this episode.
I'm going to send it to my team, and that's why it's important for me to know when you're going to have it.
So I have a 4-week program that starts in January 4th, and that is it's for crushing cravings and eliminating sugar addiction. Overcoming sugar addiction. And so that starts January 4th, and people can, I think that the link for that is www.yourpoweryourhealth.com/sugar-freedom.
Okay, I would need that you send me that in the chat
I will do that when we're done. Yeah. And so that, and then also after that in February, I have a 12-week program starting. So that's the January program, sort of an introduction to the February 4-week or 12-week program.
Okay. So like that, I can hear out this before, and her information is going to be in the description, guys. So like that, you can sign up in her programs, because I believe almost everybody is addicted to sugar. I am.
Oh, absolutely. It's designed to be that way. The food is designed to be that way. And if anybody is not ready to sign on for a program, they are welcome to have a free consultation with me, so we can have a conversation about their specific needs, and whether or not they decide that we're a good fit. They still walk away with some good action steps that they can take to get themselves started on their healthy journey.
Perfect. The description is going to be down below, so like that you can sign up with Karen. Karen, it's been my pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Monica.
And if this helped you, please share it with one of your friends. because maybe someone it will be needing it. And remember, I have the Path to the Heart. I have the membership. So the information is going to be down below too. Thank you so much. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you, Monica.